Arrived Brindisi by 3 p.m. Just loafed about, ate light dinner, and on to the ship. It's brand new, our cabin for 4, 1 berth empty. Very comfy ship, is air conditioned. On the 9th of July, we arrived at Arta, Epirus, at the Xenia Hotel, built inside a Venetian fort. Eating our breakfast on large terrace, shaded by enormous pines, with view over countryside and the river. Our first full day in Greece. Landed at Igoumenitsa at 9 a.m., went through customs quickly and did our first shopping in town with drachmas, fresh fruit, bread fresh from the oven, and Tide soap. What a picnic. Drove on slowly to Ioannina, with stop at river for picnic and cooling off time. Mountains are magnificent. People on the road and in the fields, shepherds, women in kerchiefs, and the older wearing black. Everyone waves as we drove past. Very warm and friendly people. We are off today for Patra. Hate to leave this idyllic and godlike, you feel like the presence of Zeus, hotel. Yesterday we visited the ancient site of the Dodoni Oracle of Zeus and the fallen oak leaves. A handsome 3rd century BC theater seating 18,000 plus temple and oracle buildings ruins. 5th century church remains too. Theater is a terrific spot. From it you look out at backdrop of mountains, green valley. Ancient Acropolis above theater. Huge blocks of stone remain. Annual summer festival held at Dodoni now. The 10th of July, Sunday. Stopped at the new Xenia Hotel at Messolonghi, where Lord Byron was staying, not the hotel, at time of his death in 1824. He was a strong campaigner for Greek independence in the bitter war with the Turks. In town there's a park to the heroes who died at local battles between 1825 to 6. Statues and monuments of burnt-out cannon are set amongst trees and flower beds. Byron's statue is in the center. He died of malaria. We spent the afternoon sitting by the Messolonghi lagoon in the sun, watching crabs, listening to our radio, and looking at the town of Messolonghi with its backdrop of mountains. Lunch yesterday was at the Xenia Tourist Pavilion at the ruins of Stratos. We had Greek lunch, ice-cold sliced tomatoes, salami, feta cheese, olives, bread, and beer. On to the car ferry, crossing at Antiryon to Rion, a 15-minute ride across the straits, separating the mainland from the Peloponnese. Tom backed the car on after 2 buses were on. Passengers climbed to top deck for the view. Blue water, those mountains, the 2 Turkish forts at either ferry port, and the wind and sun. No one about at first to sell tickets or give us directions for boarding, but we followed the example set by others. Once on board, someone collected 2 drachma from each of us, 6 cents. The drive then through the northwestern end of the Peloponnese took us past beaches full of bathers, through Patras with its castle high on the hill, and Pyrgos and Olympia, staying for 2 days at hotel, that's SPAP, don't know how to pronounce that one, on Museum Hill and overlooking the ruins. After visit to museum, the frieze figures from Temple of Zeus are there, and Pelops and his bride, and Onomameos. My Greek is very poor. Second pedimental group is the Lapiths and Centaurs battling at a wedding feast. The Hermes by Praxiteles is the second major find exhibited in the museum. Walked through town looking at rugs, and upon our return to the hotel found our car had been washed after 2 months by a fellow who was busily washing a big tour bus. Spent morning at the ruins of the sanctuary of Olympia. Very easy to follow development and arrangement of buildings with our Hatchet guide on Greece. Lunch and hotel on some Greek dishes, wine and beer and watermelon. Then rested in heat of the day. Visited museum again. Went shopping with Doug while Tom took pictures. Dinner here was Greek. Shopped again. Got sandals, lovely hand-painted vase and bag for a penny. Drank Greek wine with our Greek friend in his shop. 13th of July, Wednesday. Left Olympia yesterday for Nauplia. Driving through majestic mountainous scenery with hillside, tile-roofed villages, little churches tucked away on knolls, forests of pines and cypress. Picnic beside a stream, then picnic on feta, Greek olives, bread, tomatoes, and mortadella, and Italian red sparkling wine. Then came on to a view of the Argive plain. Stopped for beer at roadside tavern, looking at the view of some men skinning and butchering a goat. Down the mountains through Argos and Achaia, Tyreus, to Nauplia and the Xenia Hotel, which is perched high on a ridge with views of the Aegean and the town. Beach is right below us, clear aqua water. Looks warm, too, for bathers seem to plunge right in. Breakfast on our terrace with Doug, then morning spent at the Mycenae ruins. Lunch in the modern town and back here for swims in that warm sea. Sunbathed till after 5 and rested till dinner. Shopped and walked in Nauplia next. Bought silver plate incense burner and straw hat for me. Coffee in town square. 14th of July, Thursday. Nauplia Museum this a.m. full of pots from Mycenae. Drove to Epidaurus, was stopped to see an ancient stone bridge on the way. The cult of Asclepios at Epidaurus was reason for the buildings. The famous theater at which the annual festival is now being held. Temple of Asclepius and the Solos, round temple. Very hot, even under the masses of huge pines. Ate lunch in their shade. Drove back to Nauplia, first up to the Venetian fort for the views, then swimming the remainder of the day. 16th of July, Saturday. Yesterday visited ancient Argos, its theater, Odeon, and baths with mosaic flooring, and Achaia Tyrannus, the palace and other buildings atop the Acropolis, dating from 3rd millennium BC. A long rock gallery and chariot entrance ramp were the most distinctive features at Tyrannus, besides its overall setting, surrounded by citrus orchards and those magnificent mountains. Mycenae could be seen across the Argive plain. Tom got a bit of fever, so we rested remainder of the day. Was very hot then and is now, 9:50 a.m. Drove to Lotraki, across by pole ferry, the Gulf of Corinth, with large ship coming through. Tried to find lodging, but town full of Athenians for weekend.